what being a feminist means to you?
Hold on, I'll tell you.
Yeah, we're here.
Women are shaping the future by knowing that their worth isn't dependent on whether or not they have a family or whether or not they're married or whether or not they have this certain career type. I am Meredith Walker, and I'm the executive director and co-founder of Amy Poehler Smart Girls. And we're an online community that's just, we think of it as an inclusive clubhouse for everybody. But it's a place where you can express yourself, where you know you're safe, and just where you can learn about what's going on in the world and things that matter to you. Amy and I were just talking, we were best friends, and we were just having a kind of a little slumber party, and we ended up talking about the years when you're around 13, 14, your body is changing, your brain is growing and changing, and it's hard to keep up with. It's hard for grown-ups to keep up with it too. And so you feel kind of more alone than you have before. And so we thought, how can we take the things that we knew helped us and offer that to more people? And the idea at first was, we'll start a camp and we're going to do all this. And then we thought, we don't know how to start a camp. What are we talking about? So we said, we do know how to do TV shows. Let's start with a show. So we started with a show. And then from that, it just organically grew and grew. More people liked it. And so we accumulated this really beautiful community. And now it's more about the community than it is any of the shows. When it comes to engaging girls that are younger, what we try to do is just offer them authenticity. We just offer up ourselves as genuine people. We don't kind of use the words they use, you know, and we don't use marketing words. They can tell that we respect them by the way we address them and by the words we use, and we really do respect them, and that's the whole point. One of the reasons we started Smart Girls was to celebrate the everyday girl. And part of that is just celebrating what they're out there doing. It's not about accomplishments and achievements and winning awards or all the bad news that could be out there. It's about girls with everyday interests, and how can we help them figure out themselves, who they are. And the best way to do that is to just show other examples of people and causes and just the great things that are happening out there because somebody decided to participate in life. When we say girls can change the world by being themselves, we know that that kind of sounds vague and kind of out there, but that's not how we mean it. We know that it's a direction you have to take for yourself. You have to put effort into knowing yourself and figuring that out, especially when there's media everywhere telling us what we're supposed to look like. We're supposed to be thinner, prettier, hairless, flawless all the time. So who are you when you're getting all those messages? And that's what we try to help. We try to help them figure out, here are some questions you can ask yourself. Here are some things you can go out in the world and do and see how you feel about it. And so that's how we try to encourage them to really do change the world by being themselves, by starting by being rooted in who they are, and from there following their interests and following the injustices that they want to help solve, and the things they want to change in the world. Amy said very well, as she said, I want everybody to be able to see themselves represented here. So it was very important to us to always be able to tell the stories of everybody, and that includes even having people on our staff, you know, whether it's people of different abilities or different gender identification, different ethnic backgrounds, different economic backgrounds, different geographic backgrounds. It's really important to us to make sure that we're very well rounded and we have a lot of different voices, because we know that there are so many out there, and if you can't see it, you can't be it. So we want to make sure everybody sees themselves. The future for girls is fantastic. I really want to tell you, they know how to move forward. They know that they have a lot more choices than they used to. They know that they can follow their own path and be unconventional. And seeing the things that they're doing, particularly in computer science, is something that makes me very hopeful for the future. It's really cool to go to video conferences and hackathons, and you'll see that the girls are given a task, they're given an assignment, and I would say 99% of the time, what they decide to do is something that helps people in the world. When I'm talking about feminism, I like to give an example that we actually have on Smart Girls, because it really spoke to me about what feminism is all about. We have a girl on, and she was very interested in the art of blowing glass. She really wanted to sign up for classes, so she went somewhere to sign up, and it was a big man who ran the place, and he said, oh, you do not want to blow glass. It'll really be tough on your hands, and you have such pretty dainty hands, and you don't want to get heat rash and sweat. You don't want to do this. And she said, okay, now I really do. So she went somewhere else, and now she makes beautiful glass, and she's got heat rashes, and she's sweating, and now she has this beautiful art all over her house. And to me, that's feminism in action. It's not being held back just because of your gender, and that's really important. And it's important to never forget that people helped us get to this point. That's why she was able to stand up for herself and be a feminist in that moment. Is that good? Okay. Woo-hoo. Oh.